There's far too many of you dying. You know we got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah, Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. See, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Oh, mother, mother, everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us simply 'cause our hair is long? Oh, you know we got to find a way, bring some understanding here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Right on. Right on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Right on, baby. Right on. Right on.
This is the LED lighting. This is a strip, and they come in different sizes. This one is 20 inches. My niches are normally about 28 to 29 inches long, and so this one is more than appropriate to put on the niches that I generally build. Do they have them in 12 inches or less for your smaller niches that a lot of people do? Maybe. I don't know. You would have to look that up. But I was inspired by a video that I saw recently that another tile guy out there made. If you want to go check out his video, he has a different type of lighting setup for LED lights. And Ostrom Tile, I think is his name. I'll post a link down below to that particular video. So what he basically did is he took a Schluter strip, a transition strip, if you will, sort of something like that, except that it has this rail, it has a double rail, and then he took the rolled out LED, which you can get. It comes in a roll, and everywhere there's a break, you can actually cut through the rolled out LED, and then you solder on the wires onto the end of it. And then I guess because it has double-sided tape, he was able to tape that inside between the rails and put that up there. But then again, he had to solder the wires, he had to get a transformer separately. There's a lot of parts involved. Isaac Ostrom is his name. It just came to me, and I will post that video down below. If you want to do a custom LED, then his video is definitely the way to go. But because all my niches are always going to be 29, 30 inches, this 20-inch piece works. So basically, you see it has two ends of wires coming out of it, and you can use either end, or if you wanted to, you could extend this out. I don't know why you'd want to. So your power source would go in here, and then you could snip that down and add another one if you wanted to. That's basically what that is. I'm going to eventually snip that off. The way I was told to do it is that I can literally just cut that off. In fact, I'll do it now. And then add a little bead of caulking at the end of this is basically all you need to do. I'll make that a little cleaner cut later. And then put a little bead of silicone on there and you're good to go. And I'm going to use this side of the wire, and it doesn't really matter which side. It does matter, however, when you connect it. This is a connector that was also sold to me so that I can make the transition into, it's an easy connect like an RCA jack, and that transitions into the transformer. And so these little things, if you can see the plus and negative, the plus would be the red wire and the negative would be the black, and that's how easy that is. And they have tiny little screws on there that hold the wire in, which is really cool. So all I have to do is strip back some of this wire, but that this comes off and on back easily makes it really easy to drill my hole, which I already have marked out. So basically I just centered up my niche. I have a center line from when I put the sheetrock on here, so I have a center line right there, and then I've centered up where my strip is at, and so that will go right up there. And then the hole's already, it's not pre-drilled yet, but I'll drill the hole out, and that's going to go through both the sheetrock and the stud that's on top of there. And then I'll just fish the wire up, which is a lot easier because this is a mock-up, but I'll fish a wire up through there, strip off those ends, and then I'll be able to put on this little connector. This is going to be much more difficult with an encapsulated area. This is low voltage, basically speaker wire. I think it's 16 gauge speaker wire, and you're going to need more of this anyway. So rather than make the connection there, I'm going to tie this into some longer wire, and then the wire will be shoved up through there. And then from the top area, the attic area, I'll fish it up into between where the studs are. I'll fish that wire up into the attic. When I'm done, this is the transformer. So the transformer has a plug-in connection as opposed to hardwire, and so inevitably what I'll have to do, I'll have to tie in and cause a plug to happen, you know, install one, as it were. When I say plug, an outlet. So once I install an outlet up there, if there's not already one there, then I would run the wire from the outlet, specifically from the outlet, down through the other side of the wall, wherever the switch is going to be, and then I would install a switch. I would run that wire, the 14-2 wire, down the wall, and then I would just cause a new switch to happen, and that would switch it up. There's probably half a dozen different ways that you could do that, and so it's as easy as that. Like I said, you know, by the time I have my low voltage wire running up all the way through almost to where the outlet is at, then I just simply do this little plug-in thing like that. I'm trying to still do it with one hand, but you get the general idea. That just plugs in there, and then the wire ends are anchored into that area, and that's as easy as it is. I think Isaac Ostrom, who had done the video that inspired me to do this, had hardwired all the way, and he had also installed a low voltage switch, which you can do, that's a dimmer, and that's a great idea. This is, I think this is a 7-watt light, and so a higher wattage light would get you more light, and then a dimmer would kick in. But this is relatively low light anyway. I mean, it'll seem bright because obviously it's LED, and LEDs are always brighter. Oh, by the way, this doesn't have any tabs on it to screw it in. So what I've decided to do is just run a bead of silicone on there. That's how it's going to get anchored. So the only drawback to that is before you tile, this has to be siliconed in there and set to dry before you start tiling. And I guess there's other ways that you could anchor it. I know they sell self-sticking tape at Home Depot. I'm just not comfortable with a wet area having tape on there, so that's why I'm going to do some caulking and just set it up there. Once that's up there with the silicone, you could get something. I'm going to probably do part of this tiling on a horizontal because I can lay this down and you won't be able to. But you can get something, this is I think 12 inches or something. You can get something that's about 12¼ inch, a stick or something like that on both sides, and kind of like cockeye that in there and then just kind of move it up to where it's holding this in place as it's drying, rather than using tape. It's a better idea to hold it in place. Tape doesn't always work. But that's it. That's the process. Back in the day, some years ago, I used to do cuts like this because usually this 2x2 would be your floor of your shower. So I would integrate the floor up into the niche, and this would be one solid piece going across the niche. The way you can't do it on every porcelain. Some of it's more finicky than others, but basically you're doing a plunge cut from the back. So I'd already marked out that 4x4 square from the back, cut a little bit beyond where I needed to in the back, and then flipped it over to the front and then cut it up to the edge of the line. This is where it gets a little tricky because you see there's still a little bite on there, all four corners. Before you get it right, that actually did work. And then the excess on the corner, you can just kind of shave off with a little file right there, all four corners, and get it nice and clean. So I'm focusing probably a little too much on the design feature because I had this is all scrap tile that I've, for whatever reason, saved. So this was one sheet of the 2x2, and what I was going to do is put a border all the way around and make that border 2x2 all the way around. And then the inset would be a bunch of these mosaic, and I thought the mosaic with the glass in there would and the light would make it kind of pop a little bit. So that's kind of what my plan was to start with, but I've backed off of that a little bit because the math isn't working at all. I can't make it work. It would have been nice though. That's kind of, I guess, what I was looking for. Just so I can use up these tile and make it pop as much as possible. But I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that. I mean, it's just putting that one piece that I just cut inside of there and cutting off a 4x4 piece of this and just integrating that into there. It is the next day. Everything is dried out. That's what it's starting to look like. And now, take all these off. By the way, even though you see me using these, it's a little rare that I use self-levelers. My personal opinion, more often than not, they're not needed. I have a bunch of this Schluter left over, so I'm going to trim it out with that before I do the inset portion of the tile. And the light is all fully dried, so getting very close. And this is the final product. This is nighttime, so I can show you a little better, but I will also show it in the daytime as well. And because I got shadows going on here. So if you can see, the light is up under there, tucked nicely up against the back tile. And there's a little cutout room there for some caulking to get if this was a real shower, I would already have filled that in with silicone, as well as this other end. So this is it. This is what a lighted niche would look like in your shower. And this is the look of it during the daytime without the light, and then with the light. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, then subscribe. Hit that button and subscribe. I make nothing off of YouTube, so please be a Patreon member. I'm going to post a link down below to my Patreon account, and you can donate $1, $5, $10, $20 a month. Just pledge that on a monthly basis. That will help me produce more videos and content so that you can watch and learn from my channel. And donate at least $50 if you're going to call. If you're going to call for advice, donate to my PayPal, please. Donate first, and then feel free to call me or email me for advice. Otherwise, business calls only, please.